Beautiful people, hope you're doing really well in the simulation. Back today with another review. We're going to get into this guy's story, his trip when he went to the Amazon to take ayahuasca. Before I get into it, guys, don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe, and if you'd like to work with me, check out my website transcendingtimes.org. So, as you guys know, or people that have been watching this video, this channel for a while, you'll know that I don't recommend smashing your consciousness open with psychedelics, ayahuasca, DMT, that kind of thing. Whenever you alter your consciousness, even just a little bit, you're making it easier for entities to attach themselves. In worst case scenarios, you're opening portals. You're making it very easy for them to infiltrate your energy field, attach themselves, and start messing with you. And so, yeah, I mean, down the years, I've worked with countless amount of people. They've been fine on the Friday, gone and taken ayahuasca DMT on the Saturday, Sunday. They're getting suicidal thoughts. They're feeling their energy drained, or even worse in some cases. Some people have died on these retreats, but don't expect these people to tell you because, well, we know why. So it's very much a cult-like environment. People have to, repeat the propaganda. You get people say they've healed and all that stuff. Well, I question that. I've worked with satanic ritual abuse survivors, people with severe trauma down the years, and it takes more than a cup of jungle juice. It can take months, sometimes years, to really get to those parts and get to those what I call holographic imprints that are stuck there in time and space, still stuck there in trauma. You can't just bypass that taking some jungle juice, in my opinion. So I question when these people say it helped them heal, how much have they really healed, So anyway, let's get into it and see what he has to say.
On rainforest for the second time. So I thought I knew what I was doing. The first ceremony changed my life.
What you notice with a lot of these people is they get addicted. I've worked with some people that have told me they've taken ayahuasca like hundreds of times. And so you're thinking, well, if this is healing you, why do you need to take it hundreds of times? So the other thing as well, just the nature of this matrix and this realm, I don't trust anything in this realm, even if it's a so-called plant, right? So because everything's inverted and it's been overlaid or what have you, infiltrated, even these, because they're plants, we just tend to automatically think that they're good. But as we know, there are some severe cases which we'll find out with this guy.
But the second one, I completely lost my mind. I was screaming, begging for a gun. 4 grown men had to pin me to the ground. And at one
for a gun, I mean, sounds healing, right?
point, I had to say goodbye to my wife because I genuinely believed I wasn't coming back. In 2015, I was in a dark place. Depressed, addicted, completely lost. I tried everything.
So again, he says he was addicted. So he's got an addictive personality. And one of the things that I think keeps people going back to ayahuasca, like with other addictions, it's a form of checking out. It's a form of checking out this reality, escaping oneself. And I've said before, I get it. I understand. I don't blame these people. This place is like a hell realm. I understand why people want to check out with weed, drinking, ayahuasca, all of that. I'm not blaming these people. I'm not judging them badly. But the truth of it is, if they've got an addictive personality, there's something that they need. They're trying to escape, and that is deep-rooted in childhood normally. And so what ayahuasca does, because you get all the show and the pretty lights, you're escaping yourself. It's you're just swapping one thing for another. You're swapping alcohol for ayahuasca or whatever. So
therapy, diet, self-help, nothing worked until I discovered DMT. And this led me into something.
So he says therapy there, and I question this as well because, well, first of all, what types of therapy do we have? We have mainstream therapy, which is useless, right? By design, they don't want people truly healing. And then if you don't go there, then you gravitate over to the new age, which again is, at best unhelpful. But at worst, people are opening themselves up. They're thinking they're having like angel connections and all this stuff. This is why I was so excited when I found IFS, because for me that really works. But to heal using IFS, it takes a number of months, right? Again, so yeah, the forms of psychotherapy that we have out there are pretty much useless by design, because like I say, they don't want people healing properly. Because if people were starting to heal properly, then you'd have a more empowered person, you'd have a more empowered society, which they don't want. So they push people in all these other places.
Thing deeper called ayahuasca, an Amazonian brew that basically forces you to confront your own mind. So I flew to Iquitos, Peru, deep into the jungle, and the experience, it changed everything. I came back lighter, clearer, actually happy for the first time. Like borderline annoying happy. The kind of happy where people avoid you. Look at this chipper.
See, again with that, I mean, is that kind of like the love bomb? You know, they give them, you get a bit of sugar for a while, because he kind of admits it himself. It was kind of, he was acting a little bit abnormal. You know, I liken it to when you take ecstasy. You know, I've said before, there's that kind of high you get which can last a day or two, where you love everything loves you, and you could be described as annoying. So I'm questioning whether he's just come back and he's still buzzing, basically. And then, of course, there's the crash, which we know there's going to be, because he goes back to take it again.
McChipperson over here. Oh, I don't trust that. It's too happy. That trip was the reason why my first YouTube channel even exists in the first place. Changed my life. I was an ayahuasca cuck at that point. Anyways, a couple years later...
See, he's already saying he's a cuck, right? He's already a slave to the plant. And when we look at the plant, what is it? It's a vine that takes over people. And I've seen that in sessions as well. People that have taken a lot of ayahuasca, they have like this vine spirit, which like encompasses their spirit in a way. And so what he's describing there describes the nature of the plant itself.
I thought, let's go back. This time with my girlfriend. You gotta try this, babe. It's gonna change your life. The first night, intense, but manageable. Weird, beautiful, overwhelming. You know, the classic neon-coloured fractal labyrinth. But night two, that's when things went.
So he's just getting a peek into the astral realm. So he's getting a peek into the prison yard, and of course, probably gets put on a bit of a show. And we know there's colours that we can't perceive in our physical life. So again, it's escapism. It's different. It's new. You're out of body a little bit, so you're out of your trauma and all of that stuff. So again, I get it. It's very appealing.
Horribly wrong. This was by far the most intense, traumatic experience I've ever gone through in my entire life.
He looks like he's been at war.
And I'm talking like orders of magnitude. Ayahuasca definitely shook me to my very core and made me go through my absolute worst fear.
See, true healing to me is feeling grounded. You know, it's feeling lighter. It's not drastic like that, you know?
I'm sitting in the ceremony. Dark room, a cacophony of jungle sounds. The shaman hands me a cup. Thick, bitter.
This is the other thing with some of these shaman. Some of them are using and abusing women. Some of them are drinking alcohol before these sessions. And people say, oh, you know, you just need to find a good shaman. Well, no, it doesn't matter, because you're still smashing your consciousness open by proxy. Good shaman, bad shaman. But of course, if you get a bad shaman, chances are the trip will be worse. But you're still smashing your consciousness open, right? So you're still playing Russian roulette. You're still opening yourself up where you can get severe attachments.
Earthy. In other words, utterly disgusting. Ooh. So I drink it. I thought I knew what I was doing, which of course always means you don't know what the fuck you're doing. 5 minutes later, no warning, no build-up, just boom. Something fell.
It's like a spider's web there. Interesting.
Off. It wasn't gradual. It hit me like a cosmic truck. I was already gone. The visuals weren't just visuals anymore.
Does he look like a serpent? Is that like a serpent? I know this isn't his personal. This is just the overlay for the video. But quite often when I'm working with people that have taken a lot of ayahuasca or smoked a lot of weed, I see a lot of like mantis beings, serpent entities. Serpent entities, one of the main ones with people that smoke a lot of ayahuasca. Not smoke, take a lot of ayahuasca.
They were collapsing, like if sacred geometry had a psychotic breakdown where nothing made sense, folding in on themselves, too fast, too much. I grab my bucket, I'm throwing up. I'm trying to ground myself, but instead...
See, that's what they tell you. They tell you when you throw up, you're purging, right, trauma. But this has nothing to do with trauma. He's just in a really dark place, right?
I start losing language. I could feel my ability to understand reality slipping. Even the concept of my identity, of Tom, what is it? Tom, started to go schizo mode. My name is Roger. My name is Roger.
So now he's kind of losing himself in his sovereignty, which again has nothing to do with healing, right?
My name is Roger. It's hard out here. And that's when true fear hit. Not anxiety, not discomfort, not, oh, I just need to let go and breathe through this. No. This was, something is very wrong. My identity started dissolving. Not in a peaceful, spiritual way.
See, this reminds me, and I've spoken about this numerous times, of when I had my trip on acid years and years ago. Like I say, I don't recommend it now, where I did feel like I was losing my identity and I felt like something came in and merged with me. And it was freaky. It didn't feel good. So I wonder if that's the kind of thing that he's talking about here.
Yeah, you're not coming back from this, mate. Kind of way. And this is where it gets hard to explain because I wasn't just tripping. I believed something 100%, no doubt. I believed ayahuasca was evil. Not metaphorically, not symbolically, just straight up, literally pure fucking evil. I thought...
Well, like I say, it's a plant in this matrix. This matrix is evil. You know, we look at nature, we look at how everything needs to consume something else to survive. So, you know, the plant itself, like I say, it wraps itself around, you know, other plants and throttles them and stuff. So, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if the plant itself is actually evil.
Thought, hey, this thing is pretending to heal people. Gives them beauty, insight.
Pretending, exactly. That's the point. You hit the nail on the head.
Love, healing, and then
The
it
rug
takes you. Like a cult leader operating a cosmic pyramid scheme. Lures you into promising enlightenment and hands you the Kool-Aid at the end. And a hefty bill, of course. And I'm thinking, ah, fuck. I fell for it. And that's the scary part about the mind. It doesn't feel like you're wrong. It feels like you've figured it out. That wasn't a thought. That was reality. And from that point on, there was only one logical outcome. I couldn't live like that. There's no way I'm living the rest of my life as a complete freaking psychotic crazy person. So my brain did the only thing it thought made sense. End it.
So he's basically completely taken over. He's losing himself, and now he wants to end it. And these people want to tell you that ayahuasca heals you.
I walked outside, and it got worse. Way worse. It felt like I was experiencing all of human suffering at once. Every war, every victim, every act of evil. For those who haven't gone that far deep into these hallucinogenic spaces, this isn't like watching a movie where you're seeing visuals separated from you. No. You are the characters. I was the child soldier killing people. I was all the victims getting unspeakable horrors done onto them. The traitor and the victim. Threat.
That alone, just in that trip, could turn someone insane. I could see how someone, if they were feeling like that, would actually want to kill themselves. Imagine feeling that much trauma and pain.
All of history. And all of that was funneling through my consciousness and my body. It was psychological, it was spiritual, and it was fucking visceral, bro. I think this is one of those spiritual awakenings people were talking about. Not fun. Like I said, it wasn't just visual, it was physical. Like I felt like
Yeah, because again, the spiritual awakening, spiritual awakening, just like everything else on there, we've got to go through suffering and trauma. Like we got to learn lessons because after school, rinse and repeat.
I was poisoned. I felt my organs failing. It's like being trapped on the 14th floor in a burning building. You don't want to jump out the window, but eventually the intensity of the fire is going to burn so much that jumping out is the less painful option.
And like I say, people have killed themselves on these retreats. They just won't tell you about it. This is what annoys me about this cult, and it is a cult. And I've said before, I get a lot of abuse, obviously, for all the things that I talk about and expose. But the worst abuse I get is from people that are heavily into plant medicines, the plant medicine community. They absolutely hate what I say. They absolutely hate it. They come for me like nobody else. Why? Because they've got all these entities working through them, where they've opened themselves up down the years. They've got all these serpent entities working through them. And these entities obviously see me as the enemy. And yeah.
Jumping is the only escape. That's what it felt like. And I hit my limit. I yelled for my girlfriend. The facilitators brought her to me. And I just broke, crying hysterically, apologizing, and genuinely saying goodbye. Because I thought, this is it. I've destroyed my mind. She thought the same thing. We both did. They dragged me into the cold shower. But that's like getting drunk off your tits and expecting a splash of water to sober you up.
Yeah, this is the other thing. There's no aftercare with these things. I've heard it so many times from people that I've worked with. Yeah, I said, so when you felt like really bad afterwards, was there any like aftercare or anything? Did they help you and they were like, no. It's incredible. They just leave people like where they are.
And scream.
In this case, he's just put them into a shower.
Stop this madness. Help me. Get me a gun. Which is not something you want to hear at a wellness retreat. Actually, just before this, in a full panic, I was like, oh no, I broke me head. Which in hindsight, sounding Australian, is a very unfortunate accent to have during a full mental breakdown. Because no matter how serious the situation is, you still sound like Crocodile Dundee ordering a beer at a pub. Can I order a beer, mate?
This guy's quite funny.
Oh, I broke my head. Ooh.
It's kind of nice reviewing this guy because normally I've got a new cager or some brainwashed person having an NDE, so it's kind of an easier watch, easier on the eye.
Ooh. But obviously in that moment it was not funny. This was bad. I was increasingly getting more desperate, so I started smashing my head, right? Being super violent. These inconsiderate bastards didn't even give me the gun like I politely asked. I was completely gone, and that's when they had to really step in. 4 grown men pinned me to the ground. No, not in that way, get your mind out of the gutter. I was a serious danger to myself. If they didn't hold me down, I could have easily have jumped into the river, done something really crazy where I would not have come back from. This video isn't clickbait here. This was like one of those situations, like those infamous situations of,
I believe him. It's like I say, this is not the first time I've heard stories like this.
Oh, dang.
But these people in these communities, you won't ever hear them talking about this stuff.
So the ceremony stops and I had to bring the big guns in, the shaman. And I don't know what she did. I can't explain it. But she starts doing something, almost like pulling something out of me. Then gives me salt, lemon, and within 10 seconds, everything stopped. No visuals, no fear.
Well, at least they did that for him.
No more madness. Just complete 100% sobriety back to Tom. And I'm sitting there like, did she just factory reset my brain? Can you teach me that? Asking for a friend. Can I use this for my wife? So I'm sitting up, completely sober. Like someone unplugged me from the Matrix. Everyone's staring at me. And I realize, That was me. Ooh.
See that their community will say, he had a lot of trauma, or he was thinking negative, or like they won't blame the plant. It'll be something about him. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he had sex 2 days before, or within the window, because you can't do that. Or maybe he didn't. He didn't have the right diet. There'll be some excuse for it.
Oops. Well, that was fucking embarrassing. And it was. I was super embarrassed. I was like, oh, I was that guy, because like you don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be
making
that
a scene
guy.
like that, ruining everyone's beautiful experience.
Yeah, you can imagine. I bet he pissed everyone right off with his drama and wanting to get a gun and shoot himself. I bet they were well pleased with him.
Get me a gun. It goes to show that no matter how much experience you have with this stuff, sometimes that one dose, which I kind of think I got overdosed. But yeah, I was that guy. And I didn't want to be that guy. No one wants to be that guy. Here's the thing. People talk about these experiences like it's all healing. And it is for a lot of people. It's all love, all growth. But that night showed me something else.
It's all love, all growth, really? I don't know. It's seems a great way to escape oneself, if you ask me. And again, the astral is interesting. It's different from here. We see this place every day. You're seeing all those colours, shapes, all those, yeah. But I remember I had one guy, he said, Tony, I met this entity, mantis being, when I'm my astral travelling, and he told me to go vegan. This entity told him to go vegan. 2 years down the road, he's like me. He's getting sick, digestive problems, all that stuff. So they rug pull.
Something much darker about the human mind, because whatever that was, whether it was the drugs or something deeper, it felt real enough to make me want to die. Because here's the part I didn't tell people back then. That documentary I made years ago, the one where I kind of laughed it off and basically said, Mother Ayahuasca gave me what I needed. I don't think that was the full.
Yeah, that's how they sell it, isn't it? He got the experience he needed. Yeah, he nearly got a gun, right?
Truth. I think I was scared. Not of the jungle, not of the experience even. No, actually, that's a lie. Of course I was scared of the experience, but that wasn't it. I was scared to admit something felt wrong. Because once you step into that world, there's this unspoken rule. You don't speak badly about it. You don't question it. You don't.
Yeah, exactly. You can't speak badly of it. It's just accepted, whatever goes.
Criticize it. Because if you do, people look at you like you're the problem. They get.
Exactly. You can't say a bad word because it's a cult. It's another cult. There's cults everywhere, guys. Like I said to you in these recent videos, these mainstream truth seekers that are out there with millions of subs, the people in them, they're cult members, most of them. You can't say a bad word against them. You can't question them. There's cults within cults within cults within cults here. Because people don't want to save themselves. They don't want to lead themselves. And don't get me wrong, as I say, it's not, you can get help. It's getting the right help. It's using the discernment. It's having the ability to walk away. Or, you know what I mean? It's just, we just go with anything that's popular. What is it that's saying? What is popular is not always right. And what is right is not always popular.
Gaslight you like, no, you're fucked up. Nothing to do with this. And they might be right, but it was just interesting to see the reaction.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They'll say that he's messed up, right? Nothing to do with the plant. It's not the plant's fault. The plant in this scenario is the guru. It's the guy on the top of the pyramid that you can't question.
So instead, I did what humans do best. I reframed it. I softened it. I told myself a version of the story that made it easier to live with. It was healing. It did give me what I needed. But deep down, I knew that wasn't entirely true.
I think deep down, low key, I think a lot of these people do know that. But again, it's a cult. You can't admit it. It's like when I was vegan, I couldn't admit. I knew deep down I didn't feel great, but because I was such a headstrong vegan, which I regret. I couldn't admit outwardly that it was. I could not believe that it was this diet that I was on because I was in a cult, right?
Because for years after that, something felt off. And the worst part, I didn't even fully learn my lesson. Because shortly after this experience, I went even further. And that experience, my friends, completely destroyed me, but in a different way. I've learnt that not everything that feels profound is necessarily good for you.
What do I say all the time? Not everything that feels good is good. New age, put the new age in there. Everything in the new age feels good, but it's one huge deception. And this is what they do. They give you some sugar. You get the love bomb. It's like the love bomb after death. It feels good. You get recycled. You got to look for the rug pull.
And not everything that feels spiritual is safe. And just because something shows you the truth, it doesn't mean that it's on your side. We like to think we're in control of our minds, that we can explore them, play with them, come back whenever we want. But that night showed me something I'll never forget. How quickly the mind can turn against itself, how convincing it can be, and when it wants you gone. And the scariest part, it didn't feel like I was losing control. It felt like something else had taken it. Because after everything, the jungle, the visions, the fear, none of that was the real danger. The real danger was what was already inside me.
So whatever it was, wanted him dead, wanted him to kill himself. You know, whether that was an entity, whether that was the AI that I believe is behind all of this, it took hold of him and it wanted him dead. And imagine the trauma that would have caused everyone else there. And I don't think that would be the first time these shamans would have seen something like that, if they were being honest.
If you enjoy this type of content, like and subscribe, because we've got an even crazier story coming up to continue this saga about how an African plant destroyed my soul. We got other stuff too, of course.
So what I might do, guys, I mean, you do you go and subscribe to this guy and watch the video. But what I might do is I might review that second video next week or the week after. So because I really enjoyed his commentary and he's quite honest with himself. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and yeah, I'll see you on the next video, guys. Take care.